Student loan borrowers are probably feeling pretty cheerful this morning after President Biden announced more cancellations of student loan debt. The Biden administration was going to erase another $7.7 billion in federal student loans for 163,000 borrowers. And for more on this, I'm joined by Yahoo Finance senior columnist Rick Newman. All right, Rick, what do we know about this?
It adds to the student debt relief that Biden has been doing on a piecemeal basis since the Supreme Court last year struck down his plan to forgive up to $20,000 of student debt for most borrowers. So this has been coming out in dribs and drabs. The big picture here is the Biden administration now says they have put forward debt relief for about almost 5 million people. There are more than 40 million people who have student debt, but Biden has been going after the things he thinks he can do on a legal basis that will survive some legal challenges that are out there. So a lot of people may have sort of stopped paying attention because this is coming out in a piecemeal fashion. But what people need to do is go to studentaid.gov and look for loan forgiveness on there, and then go through the steps to find out if you qualify. In general, what Biden has been doing is this is not debt relief for people who just graduated for the most part. It tends to be targeted at people who have been paying back their loans for some period of time. And there are a whole different range of programs where you can get debt relief based on if you qualify through your income, if you've worked in the public sector, other things like that. So there are a whole range of programs. Nobody can keep track of all of them. So go to that website, studentaid.gov, and find out if you qualify.
Does this seem like it's moving the needle among voters as we get towards November? I mean, we're still, a ways off from it at this juncture, but we're closer than yesterday, Rick.
Man, I have no idea, Brad. A couple things to say about that. First, there are basically polls every day. And let's remind everybody, the polls that matter are the ones in 6 or 7 swing states that are going to decide this election. That is Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Nevada. The latest polls show Trump and Biden, the two likely candidates, are very close. Trump basically has a small lead at this point, but it's still far out from the election. Even though we in the media have to talk about it all the time, a lot of voters aren't really thinking about who's going to get their vote if they happen to be undecided until September or October. So we're still a ways out, but this election, like the election in 2020, is very likely to be decided by a very small group of voters in just those handful of states. So it is very important to both candidates that they literally go after every voter they can. And I think that means we'll probably see more student debt relief coming from the Biden White House before we get to November.